Good evening, good morning, good afternoon. I am back with another video reading a new chapter in the Empath Survival Guide by Judith Orloff MD. We did wrap up chapter 7, which was Empaths and Work, and we are starting chapter 8, and it is titled Empaths, Intuition, and Extraordinary Perceptions. So we will get started on this and see what we have to learn from this chapter together. Empaths perceive the world in such rich and multi-layered ways. The great news is that our ability to witness the miraculous nature of life just keeps on deepening. As our sensitivities continue to awaken, and the safer we feel with them, the more we learn to expand our intuition to experience a range of wondrous perceptions. Most people are intuitively tuned into a narrow bandwidth of frequencies in the everyday material or real world. Their ability to see is limited to linear time. But don't mistake the material plane for the only reality. Once your sensitivities can reach beyond it, you will enter a playground of subtler energies and fascinating non-local realms, a term used by consciousness researchers, which defy the laws of classical physics. People I call intuitive empaths are especially able to receive non-local information. These super senses enrich their lives and connect them to the divine, putting them in touch with the magical timing of moments of synchronicity, as well as experiences such as déjà vu, spirit guides, and angels. Some believe that these empaths are old souls, those who have seen much over the eons and have come into this life with highly developed intuition. Intuitive empaths differ from highly sensitive people in the area of intuition. Though both have a heightened awareness of touch, smell, sound, and light, intuitive empaths can sense further than local reality to contact extraordinary knowledge. They know things that other people don't because their channels are wide open. Some have visions that predict the future, and some are able to communicate with animals, plants, and other elements of nature, even spirit guides. Some are powerful dreamers who receive guidance in their dreams. Intuitive empaths can access the mysterious, non-local aspects of human consciousness, which mainstream science doesn't yet understand. As an empath, you must learn to use the gifts of intuition wisely and remain grounded. Sometimes these experiences can feel far out and overwhelming. The strategies in this chapter will help you to stay centered and integrate what you see and feel in a healthy way. In my psychiatric practice, I've experienced the challenges and rewards of being an intuitive empath. These abilities serve me because I have greater insights into my patients, allowing me to quickly read them and other aspects of my environment. I am also a passionate dreamer and follow the direction of my dreams to guide my life. In addition, I am deeply nurtured by communing with nature and the elements, air, fire, water, and earth. I appreciate their beauty, but I can also feel each element's aliveness in my body, which is exhilarating. During childhood, I was frightened by my intuitive empathy. At the time, I didn't even know there was a name for what I was experiencing. Along with being able to sense energy around people, I could predict illnesses, earthquakes, and other disasters, which was disconcerting to me and my parents. When I was 9, I predicted my dear grandfather's unexpected death. The night before he passed away, I had a dream in which he came to say goodbye, telling me, "I love you very much. Don't worry about me. I'm fine." When I woke, it was 3 a.m, and I rushed into my parents' room to share the dream. My mother smiled and reassured me, "Sweetheart, it's only a nightmare," and then tucked me back into bed. But at breakfast, the telephone rang and we got the sad news. Grandpop had died suddenly of a heart attack. By the way, I'm so sorry, my voice is a little hoarse and my eyes are itchy and probably look a little bit red because my allergies are driving me crazy. It's very windy where I live. My parents wrote off my dream as a weird coincidence, but I felt I had somehow caused or contributed to his death and that something was wrong with me. My conclusions were incorrect, but no one could tell me otherwise. So I was alone for many years trying to understand this experience and my other intuitions, which created much anxiety, shame, and confusion. I felt lonely and isolated with no one to reassure me that I was okay. I have since found solace in Carl Jung's description of his childhood. Given my background, I hope you can understand why it brings me such joy to put these experiences in a healthy context for you. You are not causing the events you are able to predict, and there is nothing wrong with you. Your sensitivities simply allow you to know certain things that defy logic and the limited definitions many people have of what is possible. Know that being an intuitive empath is natural, beautiful, full of wonder, and will connect you with all of life. Types of intuitive empaths. I've observed with my patients and workshop participants that intuitive empaths can manifest in different forms, which I will describe. See if you identify with one or more of these types. Sometimes you can begin as one type and with practice go on to develop the traits of other types. As you learn about these abilities, try to release any programmed notions that they are impossible. Whether you believe intuition comes from your subconscious, your higher self, angels, spirit guides, or other helpers, stay open and playful while exploring your heightened sensitivities. Intuition facilitates the sacred art of connection with yourself, others, and the universe. So the first type, and let's see, these are quite long, and there's about six of them. So we'll read as much as we can. I just don't want to overload. I feel like my last few videos, it was a lot of information. The first type is telepathic. Telepathic empaths can intuitively read what is happening with others in present time, even a person's thoughts and feelings that are unexpressed. They receive images, impressions, flashes, and knowings about loved ones, coworkers, clients, even strangers. Here's how this phenomenon can manifest. You're thinking about a close friend. Then the phone rings, and that friend is the caller. You sense that your daughter is sick, even though she lives 1,000 miles away, and later learn that she is indeed sick. Or a wave of positive feelings wash over you, and then you discover that you've received that great new job offer you hoped for. How can you tell if an intuition is accurate and not a projection of your own emotions and issues? Note whether the information you picked up has a neutral or compassionate tone. Be suspect of intuitive flashes with a high emotional charge or that reflect issues you are struggling with. To stay clear, you must know yourself well. For example, if a fear of abandonment is an emotional trigger for you and you keep sensing that a friend or maybe your partner is going to desert you, you are probably projecting your fear onto them. But if you get a matter-of-fact flash with a neutral tone that your coworker is going to leave her job, that insight is most likely accurate. You may be upset afterward because you don't want to lose this person, but the information didn't initially carry an emotional charge. I think I did share in a previous video when she talks about intuition, that intuition as it was explained to me is very much the way that she explained it. There's no emotion behind it. It's just a fact. It's just something that just crosses your mind and it's very straight to the point. Whereas if it is an emotion, if it comes from the ego, if it comes from pride or fear or any kind of emotion, really, there's going to be an emotion behind it. So that's the biggest way to know. And obviously, the more that you tap into it, the more you tap into it, basically. Being a telepathic empath can be overwhelming. One workshop participant who did hundreds of readings a week on a psychic hotline told me, "The sheer masses of people I read are exhausting. I use grounding techniques, but I'm still burned out. It's too much information to clear." Although she was in an unusually intense situation, you can also experience telepathy overload in your daily life. Intuitions come from many directions. You sense things about strangers in the grocery store, passerby on the street, coworkers, friends, as well as family members. You may not be tuning in intentionally, yet the intuitions still come. To avoid intuitive overload, stay grounded, shield yourself, and use the strategies I share in this chapter. As a telepathic empath, you pick up information that allows you to develop both more insight and compassion for people. You can also help them if there's an opening to do so. It's a gift to feel this heightened connection to others' thoughts and feelings. Respect this gift always. All right, precognitive empaths. Precognitive empaths have premonitions about the future, either while they're awake or in their dreams. They may receive these premonitions spontaneously or when they are intentionally tune in, a skill that can be developed with practice. You may receive premonitions about someone's health, relationships, career, or other issues. For instance, you might know if a friend will become ill, pass away, get married, or be accepted into college long before they do. Precognitive empaths are receiving this information from non-local realms. It doesn't originate in the linear world. Some mystics call this non-local storehouse of collective information the Akashic Record, or Book of Life, which is said to contain all of human history, past, present, and future. Precognitive empaths can reach beyond linear reality to access this knowledge. There is mention of such records in the myths of many cultures, as well as in the Old and New Testaments. Belief in these spiritual tablets can be traced back to ancient Assyria, Babylonia, India, Phoenicia, and to the Hebrews as well. Precognitive empaths must be clear about how to use their foreknowledge with integrity. Sometimes you can warn others of a stressful or dangerous situation so that they will be more cautious or avoid it. With happier events, such as a couple becoming pregnant, you can say in a light tone, "My intuition tells me you will have a child soon." Know that the information about the future you're sensing is just a probability. There's always a chance you could be wrong because most futures aren't fixed. So don't think of yourself as an all-knowing authority. At the end of the day, of course, it's always up to the person's choices and free will. That's me adding that on. Also realize that often the events you pick up on can't be changed. Sometimes it isn't appropriate to mention what you intuit to someone. How do you make this decision? The answer is always about what will serve the person. Check in with your intuition and ask, is this information appropriate to share? Would it help this person to know? Then listen for an intuitive yes or no and follow that guidance. If you are unsure, keep your insights to yourself until a stronger message comes. I share about half the intuitions I receive about my patients with them. Some I never disclose because I sense it wouldn't benefit them, and with others, I wait until the time feels right for them to hear it. Well-meaning intuitives can scare people if they aren't mindful of their presentation or are motivated by ego and a desire to impress people with their talents. Always keep the other person's welfare foremost in your mind. To maintain the integrity of this gift, you must practice constraint and humility. Precognitive empaths have many misconceptions about their gift. You may feel you are causing the events you predict or believe it is your responsibility to prevent them, especially deaths. Neither is true. Highly charged negative events and emotions simply emit louder signals. They are easier to sense than happier circumstances for untrained precognitive empaths. As you hone your intuition, you will be able to attune to a wider range of signals. And then we have, the dream empath. Dream empaths regularly have vivid dreams that they remember, an experience that frequently starts in childhood. If you're a dream empath, you are attracted to the dream world and look forward to sleeping each night. Dreams are such a powerful form of intuition because they bypass the ego and the linear mind to offer clear, intuitive information. They bring guidance about healing, spirituality, and overcoming difficult emotions, sometimes through the healing power of nightmares, telling you how to help yourself and others. In addition, your dreams can be telepathic or precognitive, relaying information about both current issues and future ones. One patient told me, "I have dreamed about what will be in the headlines the next day, from an actress winning an award to a drive-by shooting." Also, you may get flashes of someone else's dreams when you're talking to the person. Because these empaths are so in sync with dreams, they have more access to this realm than other people. Like some dream empaths, you may have spirit guides who communicate with you during sleep. They appear in many forms, such as animals, people, presences, angels, or loving voices. They can tell you how to overcome obstacles, reach your goals, or lead a more spiritual and peaceful life. Not everyone has specific spirit guides. If you do, be sure to listen to them. They provide helpful, compassionate information, never anything that is harmful to others or to you. Dream empaths can travel to other realms in dream time. I've been a dream empath since childhood. I feel more comfortable in dreams than I do awake. Each day, I can only operate in the material world for so long. Then I need to be with the sacredness of the dream world, which nourishes me. As a dream empath, you can develop your abilities. Keep a dream journal and write down your dreams every morning. Upon awakening, spend a few quiet moments in the hypnagogic state. I'm sorry, that's a word I've never seen before. The period between sleeping and waking, that's what that is. And record whatever snatches of your dreams that you remember. Then you can meditate on the meaning of this information throughout the day. My book, Emotional Freedom, describes in detail how to remember and interpret dreams. I'll have to look into that because I also look forward to dreaming, even bad dreams or nightmares. I look forward to falling asleep. Also, get in the habit of asking a question before you go to sleep. Anything from, what direction shall I take in my career, to, is this relationship good for me? In the morning, see how the answer in the dream applies to your question. Regularly remembering and learning from your dreams will help you more deeply understand yourself and others. You may also want to practice lucid dreaming, a technique that shamans use. In this state, you are aware of being in your dream while you are having it. You are able to observe what is going on in the dream and to direct the outcome. Using all these methods, I consider dream work a devotional act for sensitive people that honors our intuition, spirituality, and the reality of other dimensions. All right. I will read one more because I think there's 6 or 7. So I will read the third type of empath, or intuitive empaths to be specific. Mediumship empaths. These empaths can communicate with people, animals, and spirits on the other side. They have a special talent for reaching over the great divide and bridging the gap between this life and the hereafter. Mediumship is a resonance with what lies beyond the material plane. The ordinary boundaries that separate here and there aren't a deterrent. These types of empaths are channels who can set aside their intellectual minds and egos to allow intuitive messages to come through them. They function in the same way a telephone wire does. If you identify with this type of empathy, mediumship is a skill you can develop with practice and the proper guidance from a skilled teacher. Whether you are communicating with someone's deceased Uncle Fred or someone's sweet departed poodle, the messages are often similar. Those on the other side want us to know that they are fine, that their spirits have more work to do there, and that they love us. I had a session with a medium in England who told me, "You have more friends in the afterlife than you do in this life," which rang true and made me laugh. Certain mediums are channels for angels, such as Archangel Michael, who is a protector and instills faith in spirit. I've seen how consulting a medium can be therapeutic for people who are grieving. Though this ability is not understood or accepted by modern science, mediums have existed throughout history and around the world. Some are shams, but others feel shams. Some are shams, oh my gosh, but others feel authentic. Shams. I think I thought she was shortening the word shamanic, so that's where that came from. If you are this kind of empath, you can communicate with the other side by first opening your heart in a meditative state. Love traverses all boundaries, so when you set that tone, you can be heard across universes. Next, identify the person you want to reach and inwardly ask to contact them. Then, be open to auditory, visual, or other kinds of messages you receive. The process is like communicating with anyone else, except that this person is pure energy. I sometimes meditate on my parents who have passed on to connect with them more deeply, an experience that consoles me and brings us closer. Sometimes they have guidance for me. However, like other intuitive experiences, mediumship can feel overwhelming too. Communicating with the other side can happen spontaneously to sensitive children and untrained adults, which may feel scary or out of control. Think of Whoopi Goldberg's hilarious character, Oda Mae Brown, in the classic film Ghost. She was a medium who had crowds of spirits jumping into her to deliver messages to loved ones, and they overwhelmed her. To stay calm and centered, it's essential to practice the grounding and shielding techniques I've discussed. In addition, realize that you have the right to say no to any experience you don't want. You may need to set boundaries with those on the other side, just as you do with people on this side. Once you begin to see mediumship as a natural extension of your empathy and intuition, you'll feel more comfortable setting limits and practicing the self-care techniques that are necessary to maintain all healthy relationships. Okay, so after that one, we have 1, 2, 3. We have 3 more different types of intuitive empaths, and then there will be a protection strategy that we will go through, and then also, well, it looks like some more protection strategies, so we will wrap it up there, opening with talking about intuitive empaths and the first few types that she has to share. And in my next video, I will wrap up the last few types, and then we can go into some protection and shielding strategies. So I hope this information has helped you as we go along, and I will be back to wrap up this chapter, chapter 8, with you in my next video. So until next time, take care, and thank you so much. And please like, subscribe, comment. I would love to hear from anybody who subscribes to me or in general. I really appreciate it and enjoy doing these videos for anyone who wants more knowledge on whatever it is I'm reading about. So until next time, thank you. Bye-bye.